Round 2, we got a great keep here. Let's see what we're up against. So currently free blade into Boggart Brute. Seems pretty good. Blue-green, that's my bread and butter. Well, certainly not willing to trade a free blade for a Timberpack Wolf. So I think he probably attacks and follows up with something, but we'll see what he's got. I mean, I can also go Titan Strength Dragon Fodder too, depending on what he's got. Okay. Well, it's a pretty easy attack, so I don't mind if he does attack. So I think I'm actually just gonna attack or block rather. So I'm not even gonna pre-combat my land. And if he doesn't block, I really don't mind trading. Oh, we're leaving that on top. So Water Courser for a Titan Strength's a great deal, and we get to follow up with Dragon Fodder, which is pretty nice too. I'll block if he attacks a Timberpack Wolf, I'm blocking with 2 tokens. Okay. Let's see if he attacks. He got a Screeching Scab off the top. Alright, no attack is still fine. We definitely want to empty our hand as fast as possible. Which isn't so easy. I think we actually play Boggart Brute. That way if we draw another 2-drop, we can get the Lieutenant. I could actually just play Alright. If I play Lightning Javelin, there's a potential I can go Lieutenant Brute next turn if I draw a land. It's actually kind of good. The only problem is Lightning Javelin on one of these guys is not terribly exciting. But I think ultimately it is worth it. I'm going to go for the Timberpack Wolf kill. Leave a land on top if we got it. Yeah. All right. So next turn we get to go Lieutenant Brute and then follow up with Avaricious Dragon the next turn. I think that's pretty good, actually. And no reason to trade a Free Blade for an Empath. Scrapskin Drake's not that good anyway, so him leaving up 2 mana is a little bit of a concern. I think there's a chance we're walking into a Clash of Wills, but let's just go for the play here. So we go Lieutenant. We go Brute and pass. No Clash of Wills. So why didn't he play Screeching Scab? I think that's a legitimate question. It must be a Disperse. Problem with Avaricious Dragon and Disperse is, in response to at the beginning of your end step trigger, he can bounce my Avaricious Dragon and then I have to discard it. It's actually kind of harsh. He should definitely attack with Drake since he can't block with it anyway, yeah. That attack makes sense. Screeching Scab, okay. Maritime Guard. Unfortunately, Maritime Guard is actually pretty good against us. I think there's a pretty high probability we're getting dispersed here. Ooh. Well, I'm going to scout instead then. And I'm going to hit our Lieutenant. Oh, I screwed up. I shouldn't have tapped the white. Especially if I'm playing around Disperse. Well, that was a mistake. So, we'll get in with our Lieutenant. See if it gets dispersed, and then I can't replay it. It's just definitely bad. I don't want to attack with Brute, though. I think it very likely gets dispersed, too. Trying to play around disperse, and then I tap my mana like an idiot. Yeah. Or turn to Frog. Okay, well, that's actually not that bad. I mean, we don't get renowned, but we're looking pretty good now. Now we got Avaricious Dragon, who's going to get us some all sorts of value. And our opponent's in top deck mode, so as long as he doesn't find a good answer for this dragon, we're in pretty good shape. Alright, Rocksmoller's a threat, but he's at least doesn't have the combat trick to follow up, so let's play the dragon. And we're playing land because we're going to discard it anyway. Don't have a good attack. Opponent's in top deck mode, so are we, but we get 2 cards a turn to fool around with, which is pretty good. We're just going to definitely block the Rocksmoller, yeah. So we'll just block Scout, Goblin, Goblin there. I think all the rest of our creatures are better. Did take a trample damage for that, but that's okay. Celestial Flare is good. So we can block Maritime Guard on Lieutenant. We might just lose the Celestial Flare. See, the problem is, well, I don't have to, actually. No. I think we're going to go... See, if I attack with the Lieutenant, though, he gets to block with Maritime Guard, and I think he is... Is it worth the risk, I guess, is the real question. Because I'm curious how my opponent's going to block here. Would he just go Maritime Guard Lieutenant and then double block a Brute? He probably would do that. Well, maybe he would do that. I think we actually just go these two. Because now he's going to be pretty tempted to double block at least. He might triple block, but we can live with that. Like, if I attacked with everything, I think it's just too easy for him to put a Maritime Guard on a Lieutenant. He did the perfect block. So we did get that. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter what order we do it in, really. All right. Well, it didn't work great for us, but it actually worked okay. Because the reason that worked okay was we got rid of the 3 toughness guy. We're still drawing 2 cards a turn. We're definitely ahead on the race. He doesn't have a good blocker for Lieutenant. He is in top deck mode. We traded a Flare and a Brute for a Scab and a Maritime Guard, which isn't the best trade, but we're definitely winning via card advantage at the moment. Well, sort of winning via card advantage. Well, Whirler Rogue was a hell of a top deck for him. I gotta give him credit where credit's due. Alright, well, we're drawing cards alright, but kind of wish we were doing more damage than we are. At the very least, he has to start chumping the dragon. Or not. Oh, I should have just played the land. It's irrelevant anyway, but if I'm discarding it, I might as well play it. I mean, we're not dead to Titanic Growth. We're certainly dead to Wild Instincts plus Titanic Growth, if that's his last two cards. So he has to block both our guys. He can attack back for only 4. And we have Dragon. Oh, or we just win. I think we actually just attack with Lieutenant. Although it forces block with Sergeant. I'm at 5. If I attack with Sergeant, I guess he has to block it anyway. And killing a Whirler Rogue is pretty good. Or making him jump. Alright. Alright, well, that was a close one. Avaricious Dragon definitely did some awesome things for us there, so that was sweet. Let's figure out what's next against the green-blue deck. We didn't see any hard removal, so I think the Infectious Bloodlust plan once again is looking good. Turn to Frog is not too intimidating. Whirler Rogue is certainly intimidating, but nothing to be done about that. And he's main decking Maritime Guard too, which is an actual good card against us, so this is not going to be a walk in the park. Questions. Do I want another flyer instead of something else? Not especially. I do think Dragon Fodder is worse in this match because he's got a lot of 2/2s, but my Dragon Fodder can block a 2/2, so I guess that's not that big of a concern. Everything looks decent against him, I guess. We don't have a good out to Rock's Warmonk. Celestial Flare is like the only one, and that is certainly not a sure thing. So Rock's Warmonk could be a problem, but I guess Infectious Bloodlust is bad against his Separatist Void Mage, but if that's the only one, well, it's actually really bad against Separatist Void Mage because you don't even get to search up your other Bloodlust. But Active Treason doesn't seem very good against him, not with Whirler Rogue and little dudes in the deck. Could do Kithian's Tactics. We had a lot of creatures out. Could do Tactics instead of the Bloodlust. 2 Tactics instead of Bloodlust. I don't actually hate that. I don't hate that. Let's give it a try. We have 16 creatures with Dragon Fodder, and Dragon Fodder is better with Tactics anyway. The only thing about Bloodlust that's good is forces block a little bit earlier, but let's try out Kithian's Tactics. Could be bad. We'll see, I guess. I mean, we did just add more double white spells, but it's a good looking hand. We get to go free blade into fodder into tactics. Into potential patron. Or we can also hold tactics for more opportune time. No 2-drop from our opponents, very nice. So now we get to go potential dragon fodder into Skyraker Giant, but that's pretty dependent on, ooh, I like the non-blocker. Celestial Flare, yeah, it's decent, but we're not going to play it. So next turn we've got tactics capabilities. Not sure if I want to wait though. Might be a good opportunity to just swing for 9 damage. It's 50% of his life. More likely we're going to end up Celestial Flaring though. Whatever he plays here. Probably an Empath is my guess. Or a Whirler Rogue. Yeah, unfortunately Whirler Rogue is pretty nasty there. Not getting the red mana is a bit of a bummer too. So, yeah, getting red mana there would have made it a lot easier. This is actually a little bit more challenging now. So I can tactics, swing for 9. He probably just doesn't block. All right, I guess we do that. I mean, getting in for 9 damage is significant, and it's a decent opportunity to do it, so I think we do it. Or it's 11. What am I talking about? Maybe this actually tempts him to block. I mean, getting in for 11 damage is big, but I was hoping to hold out on that tactics till we had like a Skyraker Giant and a Patron out. But I mean, we're still in good shape. It's just that Whirler Rogue's a big problem when you're dealing with Celestial Flare in your deck. I certainly like that trade though. I mean, it gets rid of his ability to. I wonder if he's running Reclaim. That'd be sad. All right, he's just trying to race, which I think I like. Let's see if he's got Rock's Warmonk here. If he does, I can attack into it and flare. And if he doesn't block, I can patron post-combat. Can also patron pre-combat if he's got flare. Okay, well now I can patron pre-combat and have a blocker as well as a 4/4 that can attack into that Recluse. All right, did have the Wild Instincts. Just a bit of a problem, but still in okay shape here. Red mana would be very nice. Impulse is still pretty good, actually. Can take out that Scrapskin Drake. So let's swing here with Free Blade only. So now we can do Brute plus Flare. I think we're going to do that. I mean, I can actually save the Flare, but do I want to? No, I think it's actually right to use it here. The main reason I want to use it here is he's got the token. I may not get another opportunity to play Flare. Now we got Skyraker Giant. I think we just swing for the fences here. He can double block Brute. I can Fiery Impulse the Thopter. I can actually just... I can Fiery Impulse the Recluse. I think I Fiery Impulse the Thopter. If I Fiery Impulse the Recluse... No, I think that we... If I Fiery Impulse the Recluse, I trade a Brute and an Impulse for a Thopter and a Recluse. I don't love it. I think we just... Let's just kill the Thopter. Okay. I can't play Skyraker Giant now, but he's at 1. We have 3 creatures. He only has 1. He basically needs Void Mage here. If he plays Void Mage, we still get to follow up with a Brute. He's still very dead. Not very dead, but he is dead. Very dead would be reserved for if he could do something here, but... All right. Got the match. That's pretty sweet. We'll see you in the finals.